Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fifth episode of the Toasted Sushi Podcast. And today we're going to talk all about nostalgia. Well, more like what nostalgia is to me, what invokes that feeling of nostalgia for me. So, first of all, why I thought of this? Well, recently a few things happened. So, story time. A few days ago, my childhood friends they had come over and we were hanging out, talking, gaming, and we just started talking about the games we used to play, which are currently like barely anyone knows about these games. Of course, there are also games that are mainstream that we played. For example, the games like Halo or the GTA series. We still played those, but there were also games that were very very niche, like these games called Alien Shooter or Zombie Shooter, or this another game called Blood Frontier, which was actually my first ever FPS game. I played it at the age of 6. So technically, I've been playing FPS games since I was 6 years old. So this whole conversation started there, and then like we just kept on talking about this stuff. So actually I did have a copy of Blood Frontier on my PC. So we played Blood Frontier, and just the kill sounds, the movement, and the ambience, everything just brought back so much nostalgia to us, just so many memories to us. So if you don't know, Blood Frontier is, I think it's a Source game. I think so. I'm not sure. I know that it is a lot similar to Halo, like the Halo multiplayer. It's a lot similar to the Halo multiplayer, but it's less well built. It's very, very rough around the edges, but I still love it. And I think Blood Frontier just people just stopped playing it around like 14 years ago or something. 14 years ago, 14, 15 years ago, like the point at which we stopped playing was the peak. Like when we played was the peak time of Blood Frontier, where there were like maybe a few hundred players tops. But after that, it all just over time, better multiplayer games came out, because we stopped playing Blood Frontier in around 2011 or 10, 2 years before GTA 5. So yeah, you can expect to be a lot bigger games, and over time, with more games coming out, Blood Frontier just died. If I go today, you legit like can't download the game on any launcher or anything. I mean, back in the day too, I got it off a CD. I don't have the CD anymore. I think I might still have it somewhere in my house, but yeah, I don't have the CD anymore. So you have to download it off of this website called SourceForge. You have to download it off of there. They give you like the server creation tool or something, and the keygen and everything, so that just go ahead, play, enjoy, that kind of thing. Yeah, when you launch the game, no one's playing it. There are no servers, not even a single server is online. So we just, like, me and my friends played it, and the whole nostalgia thing came up because at the same day we also played X Defiant, one of the newest FPS games, and just after that we played Blood Frontier, and we just thought, damn, we've come a long way. We started off with a bare bones FPS. Like, mind you, we were still cracked back then. Like, for 6 year olds, we were cracked. 6, 7 year olds, we were cracked at the game. Okay, like if I see today, back then I might not have had the whole mental skill, the game sense part of it, but I had fucking good just mechanical skill. Like, I was just better physically. Oh, of course, over the ages that has changed. My skill has changed. Went from a more of a mechanical player to more of a mental player. Yeah, thanks to X Defiant, my mechanics are a lot better. I found this out because the other day I was playing Valorant after a while, after like a month or two, and I was winning a lot of the fights. I told my homie this too. Like, after X Defiant, there are a lot of fights that I won that before X Defiant I would not. Main reason being I'm just getting used to flicking a lot, because I X Defiant I want trick snipers in X Defiant, so you just flick a lot. So because of that, even in Valorant, I've just used to quickly dragging my mouse is flicking onto an enemy. Like, for instance, there was one instance where there was a Cypher who was behind this box thingy, and I was watching the Cypher so that he comes out. But in that moment, Jet just dashed in from behind to my right, and then I just flicked and killed the jet. I died to the cipher, but I killed the jet. Before X Defend, I'd probably not even be able to kill the jet. Now I was. So, I just saw that, oh, my skill my mechanics have gone up because of X Defend. Okay, I went on a huge ass tangent. So, coming back, so Blood Frontier is one thing, a zombie shooter and alien shooter are like these. They're just bullet hell games, eagle eye view, bullet hells. Just keep shooting things. The whole waves of enemies keep coming, and you just keep killing them. It's a chill game. One of my friends, he speed ran that shit. Like now I think about it, so video games aren't the only thing that I want to talk about as a nostalgia. Of course, I will come back to video games. There is also one more thing that I want to talk about. But before that, let's talk about a actual game, more like a card game that I used to play back in the day, and it's called Duel Masters. That card game took up a lot of my time and a lot of my money, even for back in the day, because it was a lot similar to Yu-Gi-Oh, but it was different because we played Duel Masters a lot. We would actually get the cards where I used to stay, and we wouldn't actually get that as many Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like the shop we used to go to, even back then, like Duel Masters cards were very less. They weren't being sold as much, but the shop we used to buy that from, and like it was the four of us, all four of us would buy Duel Master cards only from that shop because that was the only shop we knew that sold it, and it was like 5 minutes away from our place. So the guy would bring in lots of those cards just for us because he knows only we are going to buy it. So he'd still bring him because every time he brought new cards, we just go like, oh, and we every other day we just go buy like a pack or two and then meet up together, open them, like see who got what. If one of us got the cards the other person wants, we trade them out to each other, just having fun together, and we'd play together. One of us was so two of them were actually in the anime episode, Amaya and Kaivalya. The two of them, they're brothers, and they also, like, it was me, the two of them, and another friend called Swapnil. It was the four of us who used to play Duel Masters as much. Amaya being the person who actually introduced us to it and well taught us how to play. And yeah, dude, it's just been a really big part of my life where when you're young and you just imagine a lot, where every single little fictional thing is too real to you. Like for us, playing Duel Masters was close to reality. Like, your life is an anime, that kind of thing. The same went for Beyblade, it was like real because, we're young, we're kids, thinking of stories and everything is that's just fun. And that's what we did with Duel Masters as well, playing cards and actually putting emotion behind it. Losing a game or losing a card would have actual emotion behind it. And yeah, I still remembering those days. I just feel like just maybe I'd like to go back, play those cards just like the way we used to. And like recently I remember an incident that happened very at that time, that when I was really young, I was like spending a lot of money on cards. I was being a bit irresponsible about it. So I was buying a lot of cards, and one day my mom just got pissed about it, and she's like, "Oh, that you're done. You're not getting any more of these cards." And she like took the cards, and she just like tried to like crumple them up, but they wouldn't crumple up because it's the whole pack. So she just took it and threw it in the bin. Mind you, me, a 7-year-old kid, ran to the fucking bin, put my hand in there, pulled those cards out, cleaned them up, and kept it back in my box. And I'm like, no, don't throw them away. Do anything you want, do not throw them away. And like the other day, I was just thinking about that, and I just felt so emotional. Like thinking about all that just made me feel so emotional because these guys, we bonded through Duel Masters. The four of us, we bonded through this game. Like that bond is still strong because of Duel Masters. Around 17 years later, we are still really good friends. Every 3 to 4 months, we just hang out at each other's place, just stay the night at each other's place, chill, play games the entire night. They have some games that I want to play. I have some games that they want to play. So we just go out to each other's places to play the game. Even though we live like hours apart now, we just plan like this 1 or 2 days when we can all come back together and just have bro time. So yeah, that's the Duel Masters thing. And the reason I this whole thing about nostalgia even came to my mind, there are actually two reasons. One was, my friends came up, and the second reason being Destiny 2, the final shape. The final shape happened and the Light and Dark saga ended. So that actually, I was just watching the campaign the other day, like the day it came out. I was watching the campaign. Shout out Esoteric for putting that whole thing up without any commentary. Loved it. And I was just watching it, and I watched the ending, the Excision mission as well. The whole, I think, 6 missions of the regular campaign and the 12-man mission called Excision. Okay, also, spoiler alert, I will talk about it. So if you haven't, at least go watch the Excision mission. At the end of the mission, you sacrifice your ghost to kill the witness, and then there's a whole cutscene about your ghost dying, and then your character is begging the traveler to like, oh, bring him back. He's just one ghost. You've resurrected armies. He's just one ghost, and like this that entire scene when I was watching, I was just like fucking, my heart just sank the moment that part came up where the ghost just says, I know, channel the traveler's light through me, I know what I must do. And like your heart just sinks because you know what's going to happen. So that happens, and then Cade comes in and he transfers his light because he becomes a light construct since he's inside the traveler and he can only stay alive there. So he transfers his light on into the ghost, and Cade sacrifices himself to bring back our ghost. And he comes up and he's like, oh, there you, traveler, there you are. And then you not oh, guardian, there you are, he says that. And then you just hug your ghost, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry. That was literally me, and I did, like, to an extent I did. There were like tears that were running down my face, and it was really beautiful because when you think about it, every single guardian around the world has been on this journey for years. As an example, let me tell you my journey. So I started playing Destiny 2 around 6 years ago, when it was before Beyond Light, and I don't remember which season it was. I just remember Leviathan raid was still there, and it was my first and only raid. I haven't done raids since because I'm a solo player. Back in the day, I found a random fire team back then, and I played the Leviathan raid with them. And ever since, I've just never done any raid because I have always had just the internet issues, connectivity problems have always been there for me. So I just never bothered to go for a raid because it takes like hours to finish a raid. So I was like, you know what, I just don't want to hinder other people's experiences because of my internet connections. So I just never went to play a raid. So yeah, the first experience, because back in the day I wouldn't even play this at home. It wasn't even at home. I'd go to these gaming cafes and I'd just sit there for 3-4 hours and just play Destiny 2 there. And it was one of the most nicest times I've had. Like, that was peak gaming for me, playing Destiny 2 there, because I didn't have any DLC. I was just completely on the free to play thing, and I would just still enjoy whatever. Half of the times I'd just be running around planets doing those planetary events. That's what I would do. Just go on Io or go on Mars or like Titan and just go around, do that. And then, of course, over time, Beyond Light came out, and that was the first season I actually bought. Or, I mean, I technically didn't buy Beyond Light. I bought the pack that came out, like, which had Beyond Light, Forsaken, and Shadowkeep. So I bought that, and I played all of the campaigns that came with them. And again, another amazing experience, having all the free campaigns. I think I still haven't completely finished the Shadowkeep campaign. Just didn't feel that interesting, since Forsaken was there and I was just too much into Forsaken. I've been playing the game on and off, of course. I barely have like 600 hours in the game, but let me tell you, those were probably one of the best 600 hours I've ever had in playing games. it's one of the best 600 hours. Like Beyond Light came out, and then that was the time when I was like properly playing Destiny. Like Destiny was the only game I would play, like most because COVID had just started, and like me and my friends would still only play like mobile games back then. And once COVID started, I got a new laptop, and that's when I probably just like properly started playing Destiny 2. I did play Valorant a little bit, but I still like I just tell my friends like, yeah, dude, no, I'm playing Destiny 2 today. I just can't. Sorry, boys. And like that was when I actually started playing. So over time, my favorite season till date came out. That is Season of the Splicer. I just loved the splicing event, the splice missions, where you go into the Vex network and you do the entire activity there. I love that mission. So, and it also had one of my favorite weapons, that is the grid skipper. Grid skipper. It's a pulse rifle. It's a light. I think it's a lightweight pulse rifle, and I still love that weapon. So that happened. Season of the Splicer came out. Then after that, Witch Queen came out. Again, I bought Witch Queen as well. Played over the Witch Queen. 30th anniversary came out. Didn't buy it, but it brought out Days of Eternity, one of the, if not one of the best PVE missions. 6 month PVE mission, one of the best ones out there, and one of the best ones in Destiny. I enjoyed that as well. Dares had some great weapons. I got my one of my first god rolls, which was like really, really rare, it seems. That was the ignition code, the slide shot and disorienting grenades. I got that. Then I think I was one of the first people, I think, in at least like in my friend circle, to get the other half, the dark blue version of the half truths or whatever it is. The other half, the blue, the one of the very rare weapons, and I think I got it before many of the big streamers as well. I think, or maybe I got it at the same time they did too. Like one of the first few batches of people to get that weapon. And yeah, it was just such a cool experience, going on Twitch and like to very big streamers, Destiny YouTubers like Sweatsicle. He'd be like, oh my god, I just can't get my hands on the other half. And I was just like, wait, I have another half. And I have the possibly the best roll on the other half, because it was the first other half that I got was a god roll. So like, yeah. Same went for the ignition code. Sweatsicle was just like grinding for the ignition code, whereas again it was like my third or fourth ignition code, and like I was just really lucky. Then more time went by, and I think we got the trials weapon. That is, we got in Witch Queen we also got again two of my other favorite weapons, that is the Taipan 4FR or 4PR, the linear fusion, and funnel web, one of my favorite SMGs. My second favorite, because my current favorite SMG in Destiny 2 is the one you got in Iron Banner, the Void SMG from Iron Banner. Hero's Burden, yeah, the Hero's Burden. I love it because the main reason being it came with not volatile rounds, something or the other, something like that, which would give you the enemies a void debuff. So I love that whole, like going back to Witch Queen. Witch Queen was, well, I was getting, things were getting a bit dry in Witch Queen, but I was still doing like grandmaster, attempting grandmasters, soloing grandmaster dungeons, things like that. I was good enough, I was like strong enough to solo lost sectors, grand master GM lost sectors, or like master lost sectors. Oh no, yeah, I not master, legend lost sectors. Yes, I would like farm exotics and like so by soloing legend lost sectors, and I was doing the end game of Destiny 2. Then Lightfall came out. I was really excited for it. Like it was the first time I stayed up like for launch. Like at the launch of Lightfall, I was awake when with all the other YouTubers when Lightfall launched. Only difference being for them it wasn't like 12 in the night. Yeah, for me it was like 12 of 1 in the night. And yeah, I was just sitting there like, yeah, Lightfall's gonna come. And then it came out, I installed it, I played the first mission, the pre-log, you could say. That is like before the mission you play before the introductory mission to the campaign. Played that, and It was amazing, Lightfall campaign. It started off well. The campaign, to be honest, I feel is okay. This campaign itself is not that bad. I enjoyed the campaign. The weapons are all right. They're not something surprising. But that's the thing. After the Lightfall campaign is where it all went down. Like the Lightfall campaign was something I also uploaded on YouTube. Like the whole no commentary thing. I did that too for the Lightfall campaign. But like after that, there was just nothing there. Like a lot of people just stopped playing Destiny, and we just like, including me. And I was someone who bought like the annual pass, and I barely played after I completed the Lightfall campaign. Like, I think I played for the first season like 2-3 weeks for the first season where I was playing the campaign, but after that I just didn't, because there was nothing else to do. There was not a lot to do. I couldn't do dungeons, I couldn't do raids because I'm a solo player, so there's not a lot I could do. And it was just like that. The first season went by, second went by, third went by. I'd still log on here and there just to see if there's anything else to do. There wasn't. I played Season of the Wish a little bit before Lightfall, then I before Final Shape, then I deleted Season of the Wish as well, then I deleted Destiny 2 again, and then Lightfall came out, and I was regretting, because like I had spent the money. Usually every year I save up a certain amount of money to buy the Lightfall, to buy the Destiny DLC. So like every year I save up a certain amount of money to buy the Destiny 2 DLC of that year. But this year I didn't, because I bought Helldivers 2. It's around the same amount, so I bought Helldivers 2 with it. So when Lightfall came out, I was feeling like, wow, I wish I didn't buy Lightfall and I would have saved that up to buy this, because this is so worth it. And like just watching the entire campaign, just after like watching the entire campaign play out, then we watch the exotic mission where you get the Ergo Sum. Fun fact about the Ergo Sum: it is the same weapon that you can see in one of the missions that you go on before pre-Beyond Light, where you visit your own grave, where you I think it was pre-Beyond Light, or was it in Beyond Light, I don't remember, but like I think it was when Io was around, and like you go to the Guardian's grave, and like you can just hear Saint 14 talking about you, and you just see your grave and your ghost is there, and there's your ghost, and Ergo Sum is there. And then in Final Shape you got Ergo Sum. So I was just online, when I saw that, I was just like, oh my god, the end is actually here. Bungie has set up the end of Destiny 2. I feel year 10 will be the end. I feel year 11, the thing we're going to get, like Destiny to codename Frontiers, I think is going to be Destiny 3. Like at the end of year 10, I think our Guardian will die. I think our Guardian will die, and Destiny codename Frontiers will be a completely new beginning. Yeah. But yeah, that was, you know, just seeing everyone talk about Destiny, the Final Shape, then Destiny 2 becoming number 1 on Metacritic. That was amazing. I was like, oh my god. Twitter was just filled with like, oh my god, we are so back. Destiny is so back. I'd never think I'd see this day again. And then there was this one line I read which actually like hit hard, and it read, it was indeed our destiny to witness the final shape. So, it's a bit of a wordplay, destiny to witness the final shape. It's a bit of a wordplay, but it fits in so perfectly that this is the final shape of destiny. And it was our destiny to witness, you to see this, and it being like this, we got this final shape because of the witness. We defeated the witness to stop him from creating the final shape, but now what we have by defeating the witness is the final shape of destiny, which was our destiny to witness. Oh my. Okay, I've said destiny to witness and final shape too many times in that span of like few seconds. All right. So yeah, this episode won't be as long as the usual ones. I won't keep it that long. Before I end, let's just end off with the usual anime segment that we usually do. Not a lot this week, actually. I haven't watched a lot of anime. I was busy like just watching video gaming stuff. A lot of things happened. Before we go into that anime segment, let's talk. I will have an entire episode about games that are coming out, but just a little bit of spoiler. We've got amazing games like Doom Dark Ages. We're getting like Metal Gear Solid, another Metal Gear Solid game, another Gears game, Black Ops 6. So yeah, the week has been a lot, and Elden Ring, the Elden Ring DLC comes out in a few weeks. I think in a week or two, Elden Ring DLC comes out. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. So I haven't really watched a lot of anime, but yeah, for anime itself, I watched the next episode of Mushoku Tensei. It was decent. It was decent. They actually, Roxy's character comes back, and she has a reunion with Rudy and stuff. So that was nice to watch. And Rudy, her not knowing Rudy is married and has a kid. I'm waiting for her reaction to that whole thing. Then there's Windbreaker, which I watched today morning, it was a really good episode. The aftermath of the whole Shishitoren fight, and Sakura actually making friends now. So that was a nice wholesome esque episode. Kaiju number 8, we went into the next arc, I guess you could say, where the wyverns attack and the another walking kaiju, the humanoid kaiju showed up, and yeah, that was interesting. I'm waiting to watch the next episode. Then Go Loser Ranger was all right. I'm generally like falling off of the anime a little bit. They're dragging shit out too much. Like the whole getting the keys thing. That fight has been going on for like 3 episodes. Bro, just fucking end it already. Can you please just end it already? I'm done, man. Like, I get it, it's an important part of the story, but you could have just done it in 2 episodes and ended that whole thing. We don't need 3 episodes of just them trying to get 5 keys and all that stuff. We don't need 3-4 episodes of that. VCT started and ended Shanghai. Genji became the winners for VCT Shanghai. So yeah, congratulations, Genji. Pacific Split 2 has started again. I mean, second split has started again. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing who does what this split. Yeah. Mouse click. Anyway, so that's the episode for today. Not as long as the previous one. We're going back to the usual shorter format. I don't want to be yapping for like 50 minutes. Not yet, at least. I am planning some stuff. I'm planning YouTube exclusive episodes, because mainly being they will be more video. Like, they won't just be audio, they will be audio and video. So I'm planning those things as well. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.